how do you find music supervisors to be able to pitch your music to them to get placements on TV shows, movies, and commercials? This is a complicated answer. So there are directories out there that have contact information for music supervisors. I'm not aware of any specifically, but I have run across them here and there. So there are ways to basically sort of have a cold submission to them to see if they're going to be able to pick up your music and license it. Now, the problem with approaching music supervisors directly when you don't really have a reference to them or you weren't referred to them by somebody in the industry is that they are constantly bombarded with artists and musicians and producers that have music. And so right off the bat, you're kind of fighting an uphill battle because these people get, submitted, to them hundreds of songs on a weekly basis. So for you to stand out and even be an email or a phone call that they take, it's less than likely going to be able to happen. So, another way you can approach them, which is the very expensive and very risky way, is to spend the money flying out to, let's say, a film festival where music supervisors would be in attendance and just sort of try to show up at the cocktail parties and rub elbows with them and introduce yourself and, try to get a relationship built that way. Again, very expensive, no guarantees that you'll even run into these people, let alone if you don't have very, very adept social skills and a great way to be able to network with them in person. They might see you as some sort of a stalker or a clinger that's just trying to get something from them, and they'll want to just sort of scoot away from you in the party. So it's a very risky move, especially when you have to spend thousands of dollars on a airplane ticket and the ticket to the festival and hotels and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I recommend, if you want to get involved in the TV film licensing business, go through libraries first, because libraries are accepting unsolicited new writers all the time. In fact, they have to constantly be looking for new talent in order to stay relevant and to keep their clients satisfied. So they can always go to their clients and say, hey, we just added 3 amazing new writers that provide these genres, and we have this new music we can provide to you. So they're the ones that are constantly going to be taking those phone calls, opening those emails from new writers like you, who maybe you don't have a catalog yet, you don't have much of a reputation yet, you don't have a sort of a long track record yet in the business. They love that. They want to work with you. They're looking for music like that. So that's why in my course, I do teach new producers and new writers in this business to go through libraries first, so that as you're building relationships with libraries, well, guess who is surrounding the world of music libraries? Supervisors, editors, directors, right? People who are actually directly involved in selecting music. So in my experience, that's how I developed personal relationships with music supervisors and people and production companies who are directly looking for music to place in their TV shows. So now, many years into this business, I am now directly submitting my tracks to TV shows. In fact, most of the time, if I'm going to be creating music these days, it's somebody emailing me saying, we need you to write music for this particular TV show. The last one I just worked on was Dual Survivor, which I think is on National Geographic. I'm actually not sure which network it was on, but it was a specific request for a TV show. So, these days I'm not always just sending out music to a library and hoping that a couple of different shows use it. I'm directly going to TV shows, but I couldn't have done that unless I first took that first step and got relationships with some great libraries, just a handful of them, and then developed a reputation of somebody who creates high quality music and constantly delivers over and over again. And once you get into the business and you create that reputation for yourself, you'll realize it's a small industry. It really is very small. Very few artists and producers can stay relevant and stay consistent in this business. So if you can become one of those people that just keeps showing up and keeps delivering great music, you'll see some amazing success come your way. If you want to learn more about the TV film music licensing business, then click this video right here and you'll be sent a free crash course which will teach you everything you need to know to get started today.